Most worshipful Grand Master, past Grand Masters, worshipful Masters, and brethren, good afternoon. It is again my pleasure to address you today for another oration. Today my oration is titled A 24/7 Mason. You know, I still find it amazing how many people do not realize that there is a lodge in their own town, or even a Mason living next door to them. I personally do not believe that we are keeping our existence a secret on purpose, but sometimes it's like we are only a Mason on the first Monday of the month, or whatever day your meetings are. Up until just a few years ago, the Price Masonic Temple was the tallest building in Price, but it must have had the great camouflage effect, because if you ask a citizen if they know where the building is, 90% of them can't tell you. I'm with the rest of you. I have a career and a family to tend to. It's hard to be that proactive Mason 24/7. Throw COVID-19 in, and it's near impossible today. So what ideas are out there to be more visible to the public? Open houses have been done, and it's a great way to let the community know that we are around. Price Masonic Temple has tried this a few times, but with limited success. I think maybe down here we could give our building a facelift, and the changes may be noticed by the citizens. We have recently begun selling commemorative bricks for a fundraiser, but I think it can also serve as a way to beautify our temple and get the community involved as well. And no, this was not a shameless plug to sell bricks, but if you ask, they are available. While researching our Masonic history in Price, I did discover that when the Blue Lodges, Eastern Star Chapter, York Rite, and Job's Daughters had an installation of officers, a grand visitation, or any other event back then, they would post it in the local paper. I think this is a great idea that has gone the wayside. Besides the local paper, social media is a great tool to post these events on. There used to be a George Washington banquet down here as well. This was a yearly event and was very successful back then. For the last 3 years, Price Masonic Temple Association has put on the George Washington banquet again, and it has had success. This event is advertised by way of local paper, social media, radio, and signs placed in the community. Masonic rings and card decals are effective, I believe, just so long as you are not involved in a road rage incident or give another driver the one-finger salute, and the last thing they see are the Masonic decals on your bumper. Just 3 months ago, I was in an auto parts store, and the young lady assisting me at the register told me she liked my Masonic ring. She told me her grandfather was a Mason and that she would like to join the Eastern Star, but did not know that there was still any of that around in Price. I told her that the Order of the Eastern Star is still quite active, and she asked for a petition. I really believe that the Masonic conversation is an easy topic to start without crossing the line of recruiting taboo. Last year, we rented the Masonic Temple out for a Christmas party. I gave a tour to a gentleman, and he asked for a petition. His petition was balloted on already, and all we are waiting on is for this COVID issue to go away so he can have his EA degree. So the little things like that we do can generate interest. So yes, hard to get members to join if they don't know we exist. So being a Mason 24/7 and not just on lodge night, I think it is a way that we conduct ourselves as men and upstanding citizens in our community. These things get noticed whether we see it or not. I see this as the same reason we do not allow felons to join our fraternity. The way we act around others can have the same effect on people that associate our fraternity with the negative things we do. But let's not focus on the negative. The positive things we do can have the reverse effect on people and shine a good light on Freemasonry. Price Masonic bodies have a stretch of highway that we clean a few times a year as part of our community involvement. When people drive by our Masonic sign and see us cleaning, I hope that it shines a good light upon us. There are many community programs out there that would love help from people like us to volunteer. I realize that true charity is supposed to be anonymous, but that does not mean a guy can't wear a Masonic polo while doing it. Declining membership is a topic that has been looming over us for quite a while. A lot of us do not like to discuss it because it seems that we do not have the answer for it. I had a brother tell me once that membership is not the answer to our problem. He said it's fundraisers and dues increases. I respectfully disagree with that statement. How many times can we draw from the same well, before it dries up? I don't know many of us who enjoy dues increases every other year, and let's be honest, we are the ones donating to our own fundraisers. This is not a bad thing, but most of the members tell me that if it's just members donating to these fundraisers, then just simply ask a donation from the members. I used to own a few Subway franchises back in the day, and if all I did was rely on my employees to buy my sandwiches, I wouldn't have made it in business very long. I learned in business classes that if you treat one customer bad, you have the potential to lose 10, simply by word of mouth. Why can't the same theory be used in the opposite way? Let's start by standing large and proud as Freemasons and let our actions draw in good men. I realize I am preaching to the choir, and there are numerous discussions on this same topic which have generated great ideas. But how much effort has been made to follow through with these ideas? Are you in a lodge where it's the same brethren who pursue and follow through with these events? I also get excited at lodge when there's a new idea on a fundraiser or a charity event that has just been discussed. But I have to admit, I've been guilty of the excitement dwindling a bit after I leave lodge and go home and resume my life. I have been the front man in some charity events, and after discussing it in lodge, I am met with blank stares and hear crickets when asking for help. I have no doubt many of you have seen the same reactions. Many of you are the front men on these ideas, and I applaud you for your efforts and successes you have had. But it takes an entire lodge to make a lodge successful, not just the few. It's scary to think, and I have seen it, but if we start planning in January for an event in March, most people think, wow, we have 3 months to do this. It may seem like a lot of time, but you really have maybe only 2 more meetings to set this in motion if all we do is work at it during the lodge night. Luckily, we have good men in the background making these events happen in their own time. Brethren, it takes all of us to make these events successful. In the past, I have been guilty of this. It is easy, and I am sure some of you experience it as well, to get burnt out after many years of giving it all, only to be met with the blank stares. Being a Mason 24/7 is not an easy task. I believe it's doable. The more we get outside of our lodge rooms and get out in the community as Masons, the more we'll be noticed. There are good men out there waiting for us. Let's find them. To be one, ask one. I've always liked that message. But the only way they can ask is if they know you exist. Brethren, I have a deep love for this fraternity, and I honestly believe that if every man in the world were a Mason, it would be a better place to live. With that, I have made a personal pledge to be a better man. That better man that Freemasonry has made, and to stand proud and tall in my community. I want my action to be so positive to others that when they find out I am a Mason, they hope to be one. We have the tools, we have the values, let's be that Mason. Brethren, thank you for taking the time to listen to this oration. I wish all of you happiness in these trying times, and pray that the world's current struggles end soon, so we can all resume some kind of normal life again. Please take care of yourselves and your family. Thank you.